Yanchi here, and today we're back, but we're not doing Our Life Now and Forever. We have a new intro, and now I am doing a new kind of video. I don't know who's gonna like this, if anyone is going to like this. I don't know, but I was bored and I found this in my Google Drive, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to read this. So if you don't know what this is, which you don't, I'm explaining. It's called Nagisa's Story, and it's about my Hero Academia OC named Nagisa. It's a fan fiction, you guys. And oh my gosh, this is like 3 years old? I don't know. But already you can see that there's a lot of not spelling errors, but like grammar errors. And I'm not fixing any of them because embarrassing? Who cares? Never heard of her. Also, new intro. Yeah. But let's start. The world had gone dark. The ground itself was cracked and dry. The whole world seemed to have scorch marks. Nagisa stepped into this desolate wasteland and wondered how it came into being. What had happened? Why was the ground constantly radiating heat? And what was that thing on the ground? Nagisa walked towards the lump slowly. The closer she got, the ground was blacker, crumblier, and then she saw it. The object was a corpse. Or not a corpse because I wasn't spelled right, so not a body. No, it was the Marine Corps. Yes, let's go with that. She gasped and ran closer to it. Oh my gosh, I know what this is referencing. And it's not fun, you guys. She saw him lying there motionless. His eyes were still barely open. His spiky hair seemed limp. Believe it or not, I called what happened in the manga before it even happened. So if you don't know what happened to Bakugo in the manga, I love you, my poor spring child. I love you. I envy you. I really do. But yeah, this is my prologue, not prologue. I think it was supposed to be a dream sequence, but I didn't finish it, so I wouldn't know. Anyway, chapter 1. Just starting off like that, okay. Nagisa stepped out of the car and waved to Ishigami, spelled wrong. He returned the wave and drove away. Not explaining who he is or why he's dropping her off at school, but that's okay. She walked down the concrete path leading to the school. UA Academy was bigger than she had expected. She looked at the sakura trees and wondered if they were blooming when Kaguya took her entrance exam. There was a large crowd of children about Nagisa's age blocking the entrance. No, they're not children. They're all like 14, 15. Stop. They're not children, young Yanchi. Oh my gosh. The doors were still closed. One boy with blonde hair was chatting with a group of girls, or at least trying to. As Nagisa approached, she heard bits of the conversation in quotation marks. Oh no, I remember this. This is cringy and I hate it, but it's kind of in character. Yo, you look fun. Want my number? No thanks, I'm not into dating Pikachu, one girl replied sarcastically. Okay. The conversation looked just as pitiful as the boy himself. He had been rejected for the 6th time before turning and seeing Nagisa standing 6 feet away. She's social distancing out here. His eyes lit up and he ran to meet her. Hey, aren't you Tsubaki, the girl who sat next to me in English? Which is an actual class they take in Japan. They learn English, sort of, whatever. I did research, that's the important part. Sorry, Yeah, you are. Remember the time you totally failed the first semester? Ah, yeah. That was funny. The boy punctuated his thought with a loud laugh. Nagisa looked at him with concern. She had gone to a girl-only junior high and had definitely never seen him before. Sir? Oh, wait. Wasn't that my friend Suki who failed English? The boy interrupted. Sir, didn't Tsubaki have brown hair? The boy continued to ramble until finally, well, Tsubaki, or whoever you are. It's good to see you again. The boy tried wrapping Nagisa in a big hug. She panicked and threw him on the ground butt first. Oh my gosh, is this... You okay, Denki? You okay? I don't think you are. Oh no. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Nagisa yelled in a scared tone. Are you okay? Wow, you are definitely not Tsubaki, he grunted. She could barely lift a paperweight. The boy looked unharmed. Nagisa still offered him her hand. Sorry, my training this week has left me a little jumpy. Yeah, I'm good. You know, I think Tsubaki graduated junior high last year. Nagisa gave him a confused glance. This kid looked and sounded a little crazy. Look, I know we got a rocky start, but I'd like to start over. The name's Denki Kaminari. You can just call me Denki, though. Denki offered Nagisa his hand. Nagisa. Denki looked satisfied with her one-word answer. He opened his mouth to say something else, but before he could say anything, a kid pushed him from behind, again with calling them kids. They are not. He landed butt first on the concrete again. My gosh, is this kid... Denki, are you okay? I'm sorry I wrote you falling butt first on the concrete so much. Please, forgive me. The front doors were opened by a teacher. Kids from all sides ran like a herd of cattle through the doorway. Oh my gosh. Nagisa helped Denki before they were both left behind. The two ran behind the excited horde of students. Hey, Nagisa, do you know exactly where the assembly is held? Denki hollered over the crowd. Yeah, it was attached to the email, Nagisa answered. Didn't you read it? Not really. Is that a bad thing? Nagisa rolled her eyes. This guy seemed really absent-minded. Follow me. I know a shortcut. Doesn't explain how, but okay. The two left the group and turned down a hallway. Nagisa was grateful for all of the costume deliveries she had done for Kaguya's business. Doesn't explain who she is or her business, but that's okay. The two finally came to a large auditorium with numerous rows of plastic chairs set up. Okay, I'm not sure where this is supposed to be in the school, but who cares? Despite Nagisa's shortcut, her and Denki still arrived behind most of the others. Only the back 4 rows had seats left. Denki found them a seat behind a particularly short guy with purple lumps on his head. Minata, oh my gosh. It's all converging. Nagisa took the brochure from her seat and sat down. It had the basic safety tips. Don't use your quirk on others. Don't use explosive quirks in buildings. She laughed at the last rule. Bakugo would have a tough time if he was put in an area with lots of buildings. Nagisa looked at the sea of faces. She couldn't see Katsuki anywhere. She hoped that he would be in the same examination site. Before she could wonder any further, she felt a tug on her sleeve. She looked and saw Denki grinning mischievously. Hey, Nagisa? He whispered in an embarrassed tone. Could you help me look for my brochure? Oh no, Denki. What happened to it? Nagisa asked in a confused tone. Well... Denki continued sheepishly. I sort of threw it over there. He pointed to the aisle going between the rows of folding chairs. There's a small, wrinkly paper airplane sitting by itself in the middle. Oh no. This is in character, but it's still painful to read. Before she could do anything, a girl in the row behind tapped Nagisa's shoulder. My goodness, people keep tapping her on the shoulder. Are you Nagisa Peterson? Yeah, we'll give her that voice. I'm not sure who it is. Nagisa looked at the girl's round face before answering. Oh, I think I know what this is. Yeah, how do you know? Sorry, I heard him say your name and well... She blushed and continued her thought. A teacher told me to send you to the front. That's where the kids with hero recommendations are sitting. Thanks. Nagisa left her brochure and walked briskly to the front row. Sure enough, there was one chair left next to a boy with sandy white hair. People were chatting all around. Nagisa had to resist to stare at the boy next to her. His teeth seemed to be on the outside of his mouth. Ooh. I forgot his name. But the guy from Class B. Cool. A middle-aged man with long white scarves came to the podium. He looked tired. Honestly, same. He cleared his voice before beginning his speech. Most of the information is in the brochure. Read it and you'll be fine. His voice was monotone and dry. Okay then. Some of the students yelled in disappointment, while others tried frantically reading their booklets. The man seemed to enjoy the students' reactions and took his time before finishing. You have a number on the back of your paper. That's your group number. Don't lose it. Okay. Nagisa looked at the back of her booklet. It simply said Group 5. She looked at the white-haired boy's number. Group 12. Nagisa stole another glance at the vasty of faces. All of them were fighting for the same thing. The chance to be a hero. Okay, I didn't clarify this, but I'm not exactly sure how the examination worked at this time. I may or may not have skipped that episode, so yeah, this was just me coming up with something random. I'm sorry. Nagisa followed a group of kids to the examination site for Group 5. There was a short second year holding a large sign leading the group. She had purple hair and a loud voice that was explaining more about the exam. The test ends when either time runs out, or if there aren't any more robots to punch. If it was this easy last year, I could have gotten to Class A, the girl mumbled the last part, but Nagisa was close enough to hear. Nagisa only saw one face she recognized from the hero recommendation section. The rest were new faces, all with new stories, except one. Denki was at the back of the group. Oh no. He was still trying to distribute his number to all the cute chicks. Ugh. No, that's not right. This is so creepy. Especially because I have met more than one guy where I'm going to school who are exactly like this. It is freaky, you guys. The group stopped at a large pair of doors, and the second year left before Denki had the chance to get her number. What a waste. How sad. Nagisa walked into the back and began stretching. Defeating robots would definitely take all the energy she had stored away, but it was worth it for a shot at getting into UA. Yo, Nagi! Nagi? I am disappointed! Nagisa heard an irritatingly familiar voice coming from behind. She turned and saw the same Pikachu from before. This time he looked serious. So, you found... Oh, that was him talking. That wasn't him, that was her. So, you found your brochure. Good for you, Kaminari. Denki. Kaminari interrupted. Just call me Denki. He gave a nervous laugh before continuing. So, Nagisa, my quirk is kind of intense. I'm not sure how we'll be able to fight with others around. Wheel? Oh, how well I'll be able to fight with others around. I just can't read, it's fine. Nagisa rolled her eyes. She knew what was coming. You want me to help with people control? Yes, that would be so helpful. After I use my quirk, I'm kind of left defenseless for a while. I would really appreciate your help. Denki gave his best puppy dog eyes while asking. Nagisa thought for a moment before answering. Sure. I'll try not to get in your way. There was a loud scream coming up from a man on the top of the enclosure. He had blonde hair sticking straight up and obnoxiously large sunglasses. Present Mike. He was explaining how the test was supposed to work. Again. There were 4 types of robots that were all worth different points. Each participant would have their points tallied by observers. The large doors opened, and the group of kids ran inside. Nagisa lost sight of Denki within seconds, but she didn't mind. Her goal was to rack up the most victory points possible. She wanted to make it into Class A, just like her older sister Kaguya. Ooh. Her victory would be undeniable. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I called a lot of things about the series, 3 years ago. Good for me! Nagisa transformed her fist and continued running down an alleyway. Oh, by the way, her quirk, I called it Shadow Transformation. Basically what happens is she turns her fists, or whatever it is, into shadows. So that's cool, but like, not really shadows, like dark shadow, basically. That was my inspiration. 2 one-point robots were walking in quotation marks, down the street in front of her. She slowed down and slowed her breathing as well. She didn't hesitate to attack them. Her fist tore through their iron chests. Oh my gosh. She continued at this speed for 7 minutes before stopping. Oh my gosh, how long did this test go on? I have no idea, but 7 minutes. Ugh. Nagisa had tallied at least 23 points, but she wasn't sure that was enough. She turned down another alley in search of robots. She stopped dead in her tracks. There were at least 7 3-point robots chasing a single blonde boy down the street. It was Denki. Oh no, Denki. Nagisa ran into the open street. Denki turned and waved to her over his shoulder. Nagisa, he yelled. Go back in the alley. Things are about to get really intense. Denki stopped and turned to all the robots chasing him. A few one-pointers that also joined in the chase. Good for him. Nagisa held her breath. She didn't want this kid to get hurt. Denki laughed and activated his quirk. A large bolt of electricity appeared and short-circuited all the robotic pursuers. Man, you weren't kidding. Your quirk is crazy, Nagisa exclaimed. He didn't answer. Denki? Nagisa walked over to him. She tapped his shoulder. Yay! Denki answered. Yay? What do you mean? Nagisa asked him. Yay! Ah! Denki turned around. He had a stupid expression on his face. What is wrong with you? It's like you fried your... Denki fell over before she could finish. Denki, are you okay? Nagisa began to panic. Denki couldn't possibly defend himself with his brain fried. She took a moment to think through possibilities. She could bring Denki to a safe place away from the robots, but that would take too much time. Nagisa wasn't sure how much time there was on the timer. My gosh, just say so many timers and time and blah blah blah. Younger me did not have very good vocabulary, I am learning. She didn't want to take any chances. I wouldn't either if I had this vocabulary. There was a loud crash and buildings began to quiver. A giant machine came to the street connecting to the one the two were standing on. There was no time to think. Nagisa enlarged her left hand and scooped at Denki. She started running at full speed down the road. She took caution not to drop the defenseless Pikachu. I called him a Pikachu! What is wrong with me? What is actually wrong with me? I have no idea. Nagisa looked over her shoulder. The machine was worth 0 points, so she just needed to run from it. However, she needed to keep Denki safe at all costs. Heroes keep everyone safe, no matter what. Kaguya kept her motto through the end of her career. She had almost died while trying to save a family being held hostage. Ooh, this is a random backstory. Could have done with a little bit more build up to this, but okay. Even though she had survived, Kaguya injured her leg. She still walked with a limp. I'm assuming that's why she doesn't do hero work anymore, but we don't explain that, do we? No, we don't, past Yanshi. No, we don't. Nagisa continued running down the streets. She avoided the towering robot and everything else while trying to hold on to Denki. Even though he was in danger, Denki retained his brain-fried state till the end. Well, good for you. The test continued for what seemed like an eternity. Nagisa's legs had started to go numb, and she had hit her arm on a runaway dumpster. Ugh, hate those runaway dumpsters. They're just the worst. The streets were long and wide. The Goliath machine continued pursuing Nagisa till the time ran out. A loud siren sounded and the test was over. Nagisa looked around her. Denki was still safe, and she had returned to the large set of doors. A short old lady walked over to Nagisa. She had a white coat and a syringe for a cane. Hello, dear, the old lady said. Are you hurt? I can heal any injury that you have. I'm fine. It's my friend who needs the medical assistance. He used his quirk and fried his brain or something. Nagisa gently put Denki down on the pavement. That is capitalized and it shouldn't be. I'm angry. What's his name, dearie? The woman asked politely. Denki Kaminari. Ah, yes, Denki. She laughed and came closer to Kaminari. His mother warned us about him. She puckered up her lips and gave him a big kiss, grandmother style. Ah! Denki's eyes returned to their normal state and he sat up. Good job, dearie. You did the right thing by bringing him to me. The woman gave Nagisa a pat on the cheek and walked over to another injured student. Nagisa gave Denki a long, cold stare. He scratched the back of his neck sheepishly. Is the test over already? He asked in a confused tone. Yes, Denki, it is over. Ah! And then we have chapter 3, which I don't even know what this is going to be. Oh no. Bakugo's here. Oh no. Oh, this is going to be awkward. Fun fact, I do not swear. So this is going to be awkward without, Bakugo's actually swearing. Yeah. Nagisa started walking home after the exam finished. She was disappointed in herself for not scoring more points. If she didn't score high enough, or the observers weren't impressed, they might not put her in the hero course. She spied Katsuki Bakugo walking in front of her. Hey, Katsuki, wait up! Nagisa yelled at her friend. Katsuki stopped long enough for her to catch up with them. The two walked in silence most of the way. Neither of them knew what to say. Eventually, Katsuki broke the ice. I saw your neighbor at the exam earlier, he stated in a dry tone. You saw Asano? Nagisa asked. Was she in your group? Nah, she was in the row in front of me. We didn't talk or anything. I hope she gets into the hero course. Yuri's quirk is strong, and she's done a lot to prepare. Nagisa and Katsuki walked in silence for a while longer. They passed their favorite hangout spot, 24/7 Boba. Katsuki's friend from UA had opened it 3 years ago. Nagisa and Katsuki loved the flaming boba that was sold there. So this is a little bit of world building that I'm actually proud of myself. See, this friend from UA was in the business course. Yeah, so, she opened the store. And also, flaming boba, how cool does that sound? I was like, man, I want a boba store, but Bakugo would not like boba. Oh wait, let's just make it on fire. That's cool. Definitely cool. After what seemed like forever, they reached Nagisa's apartment building. Katsuki stood at the light pole while Nagisa walked up the stairs. She turned and looked back over the balcony. He was still there, waiting for her to go inside before leaving. I can't figure out if that's stalker behavior or just Bakugo finding a way to break into her apartment without her noticing. Either way, it's still weird. Her pale face turned bright pink and she retreated inside before Katsuki noticed. Oh no. Here we go. Nagisa slammed the door behind her and ran to the windows to make sure Bakugo had left. She heaved a sigh of relief before sliding into the love seat. Why do I feel this way? He's my best friend. So why do I turn pink when I'm around him? She punched one of the throw pillows sitting next to her. It flew into the kitchen and landed on the counter. Okay. I have never been in love. I've never had a boyfriend. I've never had any of that sort of stuff. So instead of, looking that sort of stuff up, asking somebody who did, I just made her get super flustered all the time because she had a crush. I've never had one, but hopefully this is sort of authentic. If it's not, I don't care, because this was like 3 years ago. Oh goodness, this is old. Anyway, Nagisa stood up slowly and walked over to retrieve the pillow. It had landed on a note from Kaguya. I left some soba in the fridge for you. Don't burn the kitchen down while using the microwave. Nagisa rolled her eyes as she read. She wished Kaguya would have left out the last part. She'd put a potato in the microwave for a little too long 5 years ago. Kaguya made fun of her ever since. Yeah, okay. That's fine. I burn water, so. Nagisa put the soba in the microwave and walked over to the table. She cleared all of her sister's sewing materials off the table before sitting. She sent her twin sister a quick text before eating. Just got through the exam. It was very difficult. Enjoy your basic standardized test, but don't forget about me. I did not explain very well that Kaguya and her twin sister are different. I did not even give this twin sister a name here. Her twin sister's name is Marie, by the way. But I didn't explain any of that. This is very confusing. That night, Kaguya got home late and didn't feel like cooking. So she sent Nagisa over to the corner store for something pre-made. Could have just said 7-Eleven, couldn't you? I could have, but I didn't. Nagisa picked up some onigiri and fried rice. Fried chicken, not rice. Why did I say rice? I don't know. She walked up to the counter and carefully put her items down. She looked at the clerk. The clerk looked about her age. She had red-brown hair and a round face. And if you haven't guessed this is Ochako, this is Ochako. Nagisa couldn't help but stare at the girl. She looked so familiar. And then it hit her. She was the round-faced girl from the assembly. Yeah, I called it. That's when the clerk looked straight at her. A wave of awkwardness rushed over the two girls. I'm sorry, but were you at the UA high school entrance exam this morning? Nagisa asked the girl. Yes, I was. Why do you ask? The girl seemed very confused. You saved me this morning, Nagisa began. I'm Nagisa. Nagisa Peterson. You told me that I was in the wrong seating section. The girl took a moment to think, then her face lit up. Oh yeah, that was me. My name's Uraraka. But you probably already knew that thanks to my name tag. So, do you think you did well enough to get into UA? Nagisa asked Uraraka out of curiosity. Yes and no. I had more than 20 points, but I got stuck and wrecked the whole thing. Wait, what happened? Are you okay? Yeah, Uraraka laughed. I got trapped by some falling debris. When the 0-point robot came out, I thought I was a goner for sure. But there was this boy who saved me. Wow, Nagisa exclaimed. Did you catch his name? The girl thought before answering. No, I didn't. Oh, he did have green hair and freckles. Nagisa was shocked. That description sounded a lot like Izuku Midoriya, a boy she knew years ago. She needed to be sure before getting excited. Okay, so far she's best friends with Bakugo and knows of Deku. Who else does she know? Jiro? Are they like middle school buds or something? I don't know. Was there anything unique about him? Like his quirk or appearance? She asked Uraraka. Not really. He looked a little like broccoli, though. I am infuriated by this. How? Why did I write this? What the absolute heck is wrong with you, little me? Oh my god. He looks a little bit like broccoli, though. Oh. I'm upset, okay? This is cringy. Nagisa knew that it was Midoriya for sure. No one else in the entire world could have been described as broccoli. No. She had to tell Kaguya about it. But to do that, she had to get home. Well, I have to get going. I hope I see you in the UA High School Hero course. That was way too long. You could have shortened that. The two girls parted ways for the night. Street lamps were lighting as Nagisa walked back to the apartment building. She ran up the outdoor stairs and stopped at her apartment, whatever. The sisters ate their fried chicken and waited patiently for the 9 o'clock news. Nagisa couldn't wait any longer. For what? Couldn't wait for what? Kaguya, does Midoriya have a quirk? Nagisa asked her sister abruptly. Kaguya sat up and looked directly at her sister. You mean the Midoriya Kachan was friends with years ago? Nagisa didn't answer. Well, I don't think so. Think so? I don't know. Well, I don't think so. I made him a kimono for Mrs. Midoriya once. We talked about Marie, and she said her son didn't have a quirk either. Oh, there we go. I finally mentioned Nagisa's twin sister's name. Good for me. Oh, Nagisa looked at her feet. She felt so silly for thinking that a boy could be Midoriya. Could quirkless kids take the exam for UA's hero course? Kaguya answered the question by throwing a pillow at her sister. I don't know. Look it up. She got up and walked to her room. Nagisa was left alone with her thoughts. Could it really be Midoriya? Gatsuki would have said something if he had a quirk. Wouldn't he? Nagisa sent her friend a message before going to bed. Are we meeting up tomorrow? I need to ask you something. She pressed send and walked away. That night she had two things on her mind. A round-faced girl and a quirkless boy. And quirkless is apparently spelled wrong. No, it's just... Okay, whatever. And then we have two paragraphs of chapter 4, and they are masterpieces, I must say. Nagisa woke up the next morning at 5:30. I wish I could say this is way too early, but I wake up at 6 o'clock every morning. Without fail, even if I don't set an alarm clock, so take that to mean whatever you want it to. Her green hoodie was waiting for her in the closet. She took an onigiri from the fridge and quietly unlocked the front door. Are you going to meet him again? Nagisa jumped as Kaguya's voice came out of the darkness behind. Light filled the front room and blinded Nagisa. She tried to move, but her shoes were stuck to the floor. Kaguya! My retinas! They are burning! And here ends the book. I know, amazing fan fiction, only took me 30 minutes to read, and also I didn't even bother finishing the last chapter. Well, that was interesting. I mean, I don't know if you thought that was interesting, but I mean, if you do like my cringy, old, horrible, and I mean horrible. If you like this for some unknown reason and you want me to make more, I will do it. I will find more because I know I wrote at least one more thing. It was on a different computer, so I'd have to like dig it out of wherever my dad hid it. But you know what? It's fine. I can do that. So join us again next time. I'm gonna get back to our life, but I wanted a break because new intro and I just needed some time off. If you enjoyed this, go check out my other videos, my Our Life playlist. It's a fun time here at Yanchi Incorporated. That's not its actual name, but whatever. Bye!